Leslie is all over this map as usual. She seems genuine thrilled about Eva and her dad getting closer. But at the same time, she seems giddy about the fact she and Ted have kinda sorta become friends again, and you just know she's thinking this is the first step toward them reuniting. Leslie is thrilled to hear that Ted talked about the person she once was in glowing terms. Eva realizes that Ted and Leslie had a good thing going, until she got pregnant. Turning serious, Leslie makes it clear nothing was Eva's fault. "When you raise a child on your own, you are at war with the world," she says, tears coming forward. "And it was you and me against a world that did not want us." Both are weeping as they walk away with a better understanding of each other. Vernon makes another secretive phone call, but this time it sounds less like he's talking to a lover than a co-conspirator. Anita is at her wit's end, but Vernon saves the day by arranging for Laura to help his wife. He then exits. As Laura admits that she's having issues with Beau Dave, Anita has no clue that Vernon is secretly slipping into the hotel room of his wife's fellow articulette, Sharon. A chat with Shanice reveals to Derek that his would-be wife may have told a lie regarding her work schedule and their wedding plans. Off this, he texts a 911 to besties Naomi and Jacob, interrupting their latest fight about their opposing baby stances. Once they've arrived, he basically tries to pressure a clearly distraught Ashley into setting a wedding date. Upon realizing what's going on, Ashley is clearly ticked off. Worse, Naomi rips into Derek, bringing her and Jacob's issues to the table. Once the married pair leave, Ashley and Derek have it out. He thought she'd be happy, but she says that everything he's doing is pushing her away. And Jacob accuses his wife of going off on Derek because she can't or won't go off on him. At the end of the day, both couples seem on shaky at best ground. "Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama." Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Tuesday, November 4th, confirm that Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. Meanwhile, Jack seeks expert help from Nicole and more. Read on as soap opera news breaks it all down. Hayley and Randy are up to their necks in a major scheme, something they've apparently been running for years. They're trying to sell the crowd a facade, acting like they didn't know each other before that night he apparently took her to the hospital when she suffered a miscarriage. But Joey Armstrong is a sharp man, and when Hayley ran into him, he wasn't just being friendly. He clearly rattled her. Does she have reason to worry? Is this the precarious situation she and Randy have to deal with in Tuesday's episode? Or is there something even bigger looming? What could possibly go wrong? Meanwhile, Bill is making it crystal clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. Another day, another Bill promise. He reminds Danny where his loyalty stands. Could that possibly extend to his wife? Beyond the Gates, spoilers for November 4th, reveal that Jacob is seeking expert help from Nicole. It looks like he and Naomi may be hitting a rough patch, but naturally, he doesn't want his marriage to end. Can Nicole help him navigate it? And that's not all. Vanessa gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions, while Pamela presses Andre for answers. Looks like it's shaping up to be quite a day in Fairmont Crest. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for the week of November 3 to 7 suggest that Andre Richardson will make a confession, while Vernon Dupree does something sly. Plus, Derek Baldwin slips up. So it's time to talk about what fans should expect in the land of Fairmont Crest over the next 5 days. As fans know, Derek's been making major strides when it comes to walking again. A terrible accident landed him in a wheelchair, but the silver lining in all this is that he won back the girl of his dreams, Ashley Morgan. Still, BTG fans can sense that Derek is lying about his progress to keep Ashley in his orbit. He states it's because he wants to surprise her on their wedding day, but he's clearly still insecure about the bond she shares with her friend Andre. Well, the cat will be out of the bag during the week of November 3rd, when Ashley walks into their apartment, only to see Derek standing up from his wheelchair. The Beyond the Gates preview shows Ashley happy about it all at first, but how will she feel when she realizes that he's been lying to her this entire time? Speaking of Andre, he'll have his fair share of drama. he'll be confronted by Danny Dupree's best friend and modeling agency partner, Pamela Curtis. After all, Pamela scored Danny a huge Forrester Creations campaign, but they wanted Andre in the shoot too, or the deal was off. Despite Danny wanting to work with FC for years, she politely declined for her new husband's sake, so Pamela may wonder why Andre dug his heels in about the whole thing. There's been speculation that Andre is hiding something, as he hasn't allowed any public photos of himself to be published in a very long time. As the days go by, he'll talk to Danny about his painful past. So will he confess to the reason he prefers being behind the camera versus in front of it. Meanwhile, Vernon will be up to no good, but will it be for the greater good? Let's rewind a bit. During the Friday, October 31st episode, Anita launched planning for her annual Winterfest event. Early on in the week of November 3rd, she'll be overwhelmed, so it sounds like this project is a lot for her to take on. Vernon will have a secret meeting with someone, and the Beyond the Gates preview shows him arriving at an unknown woman's hotel door. Added teasers note that Sharon Winger will return this week, so has Vernon solicited the help of Anita's former Articulates group member to help his wife. Across town, Hayley Hamilton and Randy Parker will be in a pickle. Joey Armstrong caught Hayley at the casino in some security cam footage, and when he approached Randy, his henchman implied that he was having an affair with her. Meanwhile, when Joey confronted Hayley, she fiercely denied it. Now the two cousins need to cut off all face-to-face communication, or their little con to off the Bill Hamilton could be exposed. Not to mention the fact that if Bill passes away, Hayley having a lover would be mighty suspicious. Will they axe the plan to axe Bill? Speaking of Joey, Vanessa McBride will do something to get his attention, but it doesn't sound like the usual steamy activities she's up to. It seems she'll gain access to a prized possession of his, so what will he think of this move? As the week progresses, Vanessa's new partnership with Joey will be all the buzz at Fairmont Crest's country club. So how will the high-end real estate agent deal with all the judgment thrown her way for her affiliation with the sketchy casino owner? Lastly, an old friend catches up with Joey, and he'll be completely thrown for a loop. Not much startles the casino owner these days, so who is this old friend? Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that Nicole Dupree will make a move on Ted Richardson that catches him off guard. These two are officially divorced, but fans can't help but feel as if a reunion could be on the horizon for them. In related news, for one reason or another, Leslie Thomas will continue to hold on to hope that she, Ted, and Eva Thomas will someday be a family. So, what triggers her into thinking this? Eva will also deal with a little drama, as Catherine "Cat" Richardson will overhear her half-sister referring to Ted as Dad and lose her mind. Still, Cat might be triggered as it is, due to another conversation. Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of November 3-7 suggest that she and Martin Richardson will clash, and it sounds like he'll ream her out for the hot talk that Samantha Richardson heard from her. Samantha tried to do the deed with someone she's only seeing, Nathan, because she overheard Kat talking about how she and Tomas Navarro have connected since hitting the sheets. Martin was outraged to see his daughter on the couch with Nathan and a condom on the floor, so he may blame Kat when it's not exactly her fault. Kat may leave a major argument with Martin, only to stumble upon hearing Eva call Ted Dad. So the situation could get ugly. Either way, Kat will issue an ultimatum to her dad about choosing between her and Eva, so he'll have his fair share of conflict next week. Back to Samantha, she and Martin will also have a heated encounter during the week of November 3-7. As he threatens to take away her modeling job, this will prompt Samantha to ask Bradley, Smitty Smith, and Nicole to act as peacemakers. But will they be able to calm Martin down about this situation? Finally, a cryptic BTG spoiler hints that two couples will deal with heartbreak thanks to the lie of another character. Beyond the Gates, spoilers remind fans that there are plenty of secrets circling on the CBS soap, so viewers will have to tune in to find out what this all means. Beyond the Gates spoilers for November 3rd hint that Vernon Dupree will have a secret meeting, while Anita Dupree will have a meltdown, and Naomi Hawthorne will spiral. What's set to go down in Fairmont Crest on Monday? Let's talk about it. The Beyond the Gates promo for the week of November 3-7 shows Vernon talking quietly to someone unknown on the phone about doing things his way. As scenes shift, he's at the hotel, knocking on someone's door, when a strange woman is shown from behind. Her face is not revealed, but she does have short hair. However, the hair itself does look familiar. As fans know, Leslie Thomas loves donning different wigs. So is Vernon meeting with Leslie or someone else? He has been acting sketchy as of late. Then again, there's been buzz that Sharon Winger is slated for an appearance, so it might be her. Meanwhile, his wife, Anita, will feel overwhelmed. During the Friday, October 31st episode, fans learned that Anita was spearheading an annual event, Winterfest, with the help of her daughters, Danny Dupree and Nicole Dupree. It sounds like Anita will have a bit of a meltdown during the November 3rd show, so she could have a little too much on her plate where planning is concerned for this massive project. This might be where Sharon steps in to help. Back to Leslie, she'll get an update from Eva Thomas about Ted Richardson. During the October 31st show, Ted asked Eva to start calling him Dad, and also made it clear that he wanted her to join in on the Richardson family festive fun during the holidays. Shortly after, Ted ran into Leslie and told her about the dad thing, but didn't mention the holiday invite. How will Leslie feel about having to share her daughter during Christmas? Then again, Leslie is a bit delulu, so will she think she's invited too? Speaking of being delulu, Derek Baldwin will ask Shanice Johnson for a favor, but he'll be handed a nice dose of reality. Derek may ask Shanice to continue lying about his progress, but she'll warn him that he may regret hiding things from Ashley Morgan. Secrets always come out in the ugliest of ways in soaps, so Shanice is not wrong to be concerned. In fact, Derek will get caught standing from his wheelchair by Ashley later on in the week, so it'll be interesting if she catches on to his fibs all along, or if she'll just be happy to see him doing better. Finally, Naomi will spiral in front of some loved ones during the November 3rd show. She's generally cool, calm, and collected. However, her marital issues have been weighing heavily on her mind, and she'll release them when least expected. Beyond the Gates, spoilers indicate that whoever she explodes on, whether it's her mom, sister, or one of her cousins, they'll likely understand the pressure she's been under if she explains. But can they offer her the support she needs to help her and Jacob Hawthorne get past their baby problem? Anita will be in for a shock when Vernon's secret is revealed. Vernon has been acting odd recently on Beyond the Gates. The Dupree patriarch is raising eyebrows with his mysterious phone calls, and this week he meets with a woman. While many fans are fearing the worst, others think there's a logical explanation. For the past few weeks, Vernon has been acting suspiciously. It started with the phone calls to a mystery person, whom Vernon claimed was a golf buddy. Whoever Vernon is talking with, it's obvious they're meeting in secret and don't want Anita to know. Vernon's behavior is raising red flags, and many viewers fear he's cheating on Anita. This week's preview does little to squash their fears because Vernon arrives at another woman's place. Although the woman's identity isn't revealed, it looks like Anita's fellow Articulettes member, Sharon. While things aren't looking good for Vernon and Anita's marriage, fans think there's a logical explanation. On Reddit, speculation is that the Dupree patriarch is planning a romantic surprise for Anita. Pretty sure it's just a misdirection, making you think he's cheating when this is something for Anita, since she's had a hard few months due to the barber reveal and Leslie, wrote one viewer. Same. I read that Vernon, who can't sing, is learning to sing to surprise Anita. What confirms it for me is that Vernon is secretly meeting with Sharon in next week's previews. She's said before she's a vocal coach, one fan replied. Vernon and Anita, aka Vernita, are one of BTG's top couples. Their love and commitment to each other is what makes them popular with fans. While soaps like to go the cheating route with couples, it's hard to imagine Vernon being unfaithful to Anita. Since Vernon likes to surprise his wife, chances are he's planning something special for her. With the holiday season coming up, maybe he'll surprise Anita with a song or another heartwarming gift. Whatever Vernon has planned, it's going to bring a tear to Anita and the audience's eyes. And after all the Duprees, especially Anita, have been through this year, they could use some holiday cheer. Meanwhile, Hayley and Randy deal with a situation that is on the verge of snowballing out of control. The Beyond the Gates. Spoilers for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Feature Bill making it clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. Of course, he'll be singing a different tune in no time. Meanwhile, Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. Might this be about a certain corrupt casino owner named Joey Armstrong? On Tuesday, Bill feels the need to re-establish boundaries with Danny. He has done this before when Hayley asked him to. For some reason, Bill thinks it's time to make it clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. With his wife. Perhaps it has to do with the fact that the last couple of times they were together, they kissed. Perhaps. Danny has her own marriage to focus on, and she's really trying to make it work, so maybe she takes Bill's pledge in stride. The thing is, he may still want to stay close to his ex-wife because, eventually, he will need her around. Hayley has plans that aren't supposed to end well for him. Meanwhile, Bill's wife has her own issues. Last Friday, Joey cornered Hayley at Orphe Jeans and basically let her know that he knew what she was up to with Randy. Hayley feigned innocence and said she didn't know any Randy. Who she does know that works for Joey is a man named Sammy. Cousin Randy told Joey that he and Hayley were having an affair, but Hayley insisted that Sammy was a kind man who helped her when she had a miscarriage. Needless to say, this matter needs attention. And that must be why the weekly teasers suggest that Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. Speaking of Joey, he and Vanessa are currently in a state of flux. She wants a bigger piece of the pie and wants to be an equal partner in his shady business empire. Well, apparently, she's about to take a big step towards that lofty goal. Vanessa gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions. What could it be? His casino? Or is the possession smaller than a bread box? Jacob makes a smart move on Tuesday. The detective turns to Naomi's Aunt Nicole, but for purely professional reasons. He seeks expert help from her. He might feel like he needs help making sense of what just happened in his marriage. That pregnancy scare did some damage to his bond with Naomi. They haven't been the same since. Can Nicole, the psychiatrist, help Jacob? It appears that Pamela still doesn't understand why Andre refused to sign on the dotted line for the Forrester Creations modeling gig. He had his reasons, which he refuses to divulge. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for the week of November 3 to 7 reveal some explosive moments in Fairmont Crest. Hayley Hamilton and Randy Parker will scramble, while Vanessa McBride crosses Joey Armstrong. Onids. Momid. Plus, Catherine Cat Richardson clashes with Martin Richardson. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for the week of November 3 to 7 note that Hayley and Randy will scramble due to their sticky new situation. Last week, Joey caught Hayley on the casino security camera, and when he confronted Randy about it, the henchman lied to him by saying he was having an affair with Bill Hamilton's wife. Still, when Joey confronted Hayley about it during the Friday, October 30th episode, she fiercely denied it. Now the two are in a pickle, so how will they weasel their way out of things? In related news, Bill will make it clear to Danny Dupree that his loyalty lies with Hayley. He'll be sorry that he's done this when he learns the truth. Across town, Vanessa will gain a prized possession of Joey's, which spells bad news. He hates being one-upped, so what will she get her hands on? Meanwhile, Joey will be reunited with an old friend as the days go by. Who could this be? By the time the weekend hits, added teasers indicate that Vanessa's partnership with Joey will cause some drama at the country club. In addition, a character's lies will create trouble for two other super couples. Plus, two people find themselves getting closer and closer. BTG spoilers for the week of November 3rd hint that Pamela Curtis will press Andre Richardson for answers. Pammy might still be upset that she and Danny had to decline Forrester Creations' modeling contract, as the company wanted both Danny and her new hubby in the shoot. Andre refused, so the couple couldn't do the campaign. But what's the real reason behind this? Speaking of Dandre, the married couple will sit down and discuss Andre's painful past. Elsewhere, Ashley Morgan will make a stunning discovery. Ashley is poised to walk in on Derek Baldwin standing up from his wheelchair, but will she realize he's been lying to her all along? As the week in Fairmont Crest rolls on, Jacob Hawthorne will turn to Nicole Dupree for help. Jacob is having marital issues with Nicole's niece, Naomi Hawthorne, so will Nicole be able to help their situation with some sound advice? In addition, Nicole will also extend an olive branch to Ted Richardson. So are these two headed for a reunion? Not if Leslie Thomas has anything to do with it. Beyond the Gates, spoilers imply that she'll still hold on to hope that someday she, Ted, and Eva Thomas will be a family. Delulu. Finally, there will be plenty of drama where Kat's concerned. First off, she'll clash with Martin. Martin found out this week that Samantha Richardson had some naughty thoughts towards her love interest, Nathan, thanks to a conversation she overheard coming from Kat. In all fairness, Kat hadn't realized that Samantha was around when she was talking about her bedroom activities, but Martin won't see it like that. Still, that won't be the only confrontation Kat has, as she's also set to battle it out with Eva and Ted. Kat will hear Eva call Ted, "Dad!" and she'll lose her mind. In fact, it sounds like she'll issue an ultimatum to her father. It's either Eva or her. Back to Samantha, she'll plead for help from Bradley Smitty Smith and Nicole. It seems like Martin is set on a hard stance where his teen daughter is concerned, so he'll tell the young girl that her modeling career is done, for now. Can Smitty and Nicole help calm Martin down? Beyond the Gates, spoilers, for the week of November 3 to 7, suggest that Joey Armstrong will admit he offed Doug McBride to Vanessa McBride, while Ashley Morgan will catch Derek Baldwin standing up from his wheelchair. The BTG Weekly Preview just dropped, so it's time to talk about all the craziness that is set to unfold in Fairmont Crest. The promo opens with Vernon Dupree in his mansion. He's all hush-hush on his mobile with someone unknown, as he insists he knows what he's doing, and to let him do things his way. As the scenes shift, he's arriving at the local hotel and knocks on a room door. While the woman opening the door cannot be seen, she has short hair. However, from behind, she looks a lot like Leslie Thomas, donning one of her funky wigs. Why would Vernon be secretly visiting the very woman who's launched such a terrible attack on his family? Across town, Shanice Johnson is at the nurse's station, presumably talking to Derek on the phone. She warns her friend and patient that if he doesn't confess soon, he'll regret it. The next clip shown is Derek, standing up from his wheelchair, just as Ashley walks into their apartment. Ashley happily proclaims, "OMG, this is incredible! Look at you!" Meanwhile, there's a wave of relief on Derek's face as he awkwardly smiles. As the Beyond the Gates promo for the week of November 3 to 7 continues, Martin Richardson is at home, and he's telling Samantha Richardson that this is her last day. From the sounds of things, Martin will likely ground Samantha from being the Chelsea Cat Purse's brand ambassador. Samantha is very emotional when she asks him why he would take my dream away, and then boldly exclaims, "I hate you!" Bradley Smitty Smith and Tyrell Richardson are there when this all goes down. Samantha then storms out of the house, as Smitty tells her to, "Wait!" Is Samantha running away from home? From one angered daughter to another, the next clip in the BTG preview shows Ted Richardson at the hospital with Eva Thomas, while Shanice is working at the nurse's station. Eva states, "I called him Dad," while Catherine "Cat" Richardson is shown, and the look of disgust on her face says it all. Nicole Dupree can be seen in the background as Kat states that she hopes he enjoys the one daughter he has, because he can't have both of them, and then she storms off. As the Beyond the Gates weekly video closes, the last scene is Joey and Vanessa McBride at the country club. A woman interrupts their meal. However, it's not known exactly what she says to warrant an over-the-top response from Joey. The casino owner smugly states that he killed off Vanessa's husband. He could have her all to himself. Vanessa is then shown, looking horrified, and the preview is done. Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that Joey will fluff the statement off as a joke, but will Vanessa start to see just how dangerous her new love interest really is? Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Bill and Danny have had a heck of a last few weeks, with a couple of kisses, private investigators, and brushes with death, courtesy of his wife. In Tuesday's episode, Bill makes it clear to his ex where his allegiance lies. Now we know that won't mean the end of Danny's meddling in Bill's business, but to save his life. Maybe that's just what we need her to do? There comes a point when we all need to utter those words. And in Tuesday's episode, Jacob seeks expert help from Nicole. Jacob's personal life is blowing up at the same time as his professional life. He and Naomi couldn't be further apart, and she has resorted to taking cheap shots at him in public. His father, the chief of police, is a dirty cop and told Jacob he needs to learn the difference between being a good cop and a smart cop. Can Nicole help him navigate these waters? Now we have a sketchy situation. Joey is a smart guy and figures things out way before people tell him, and he asks questions he already knows the answer to, just to see people's intentions. Both Hayley and Randy have given Joey two different versions of how they came to know each other and what's going on. In Tuesday's episode, Hayley and Randy deal with a precarious situation. In Tuesday's episode, Vanessa gains control of one of Joey's prized possessions. Is this going to be one of his businesses or something much more personal? Vanessa is getting closer and closer to the man behind the casino. Whether she likes what she sees remains to be seen. Andre has said he doesn't want to model and be in front of the camera. His reasons seem legit, but according to Bill's private investigator, there may be another reason young Andre is camera-ish shy. In Tuesday's episode, Pamela presses Andre for answers. Are y'all ready to go beyond the gates? Nicole got sentimental while Isaiah took flack because he wouldn't cop to being a cop. Derek had one move while Kat and Chelsea each thought the other could be doing better in their relationship. Finally, Hayley got hit with 2 bolts of X-ray vision while Samantha would do anything to score a touchdown. Let's fill up those 2 scoops and find out what happened inside and outside the gates of Fairmont Crest. All right, let's just lay it out. Commercialism has been a thing ever since TV started. That's why we're willing to sit through tons of ads as part and parcel of our favorite shows. In this case, soaps. But one thing Beyond the Gates has taught us is that there are product placement lines that definitely shouldn't be crossed. When Nicole started spraying her Febreze around in early spring, it was almost cute in kind of a wink-wink, nod-nod kind of way. But by the time Naomi was spilling chocolate pudding on her pillowcase and telling us how awesome Tide was, the hairs on the backs of most of our necks stood up. It was a breaking of a fourth wall that felt forced, tacky, and just out of place on any show. That was in April, and thankfully, somebody seemed to listen to our collective groans, because we went all summer and into fall without characters casting themselves in wannabe commercials. This past Monday, Nicole whipped out her Febreze again, which, hey, why not? But on the show's Halloween, on Thursday, Nicole sprayed testimonials along with her pumpkin roll. Having Nicole sing the praises of Febreze to Vernon was just too much. You wanna stick a bottle of something in the frame? Go for it. You wanna show a character using a product? You do you. But for the love of everything soapy, please knock it off with stopping our stories to have someone talk about how awesome air freshener, laundry detergent, or any other real-world item is. How about this? Shoot a separate commercial with a Gates character on set. That's what they used to do on Bewitched when Samantha hawked oats or Chevrolets. Moving on, Nicole was doing her best to transition into her post-Ted era, but she just couldn't be sure doing that with Carlton was the right thing. Vernon posited that Nicole's hesitation might be because a new involvement felt scary after her marriage to Ted went nuclear, and Danny deemed the Ted-Carlton friendship/partner thing a non-issue, advising Nicole to point Ted to the department of who gives a flying fig. Danny's dialogue is Fort Knox level of gold. I'm of 2 minds, because I get Nicole not wanting to rebound, but girl, it's Carlton. With Danny's nudging, Nicole asked Carlton out, but as they later did some pre-date flirting, Ted came upon the scene and got all up in his jealousy. Carlton broke off some truths for him, and Ted retorted that those wouldn't hurt as much as Ted's fist going upside Carlton's head. Oh, Teddy boo, like Carlton couldn't wipe the hospital floor with your wussy ass. Nicole, on the other hand, was embarrassed to be fought over in public and canceled her evening with Carlton. Why punish him? Ted started it, and Carlton only came to your damn defense, Nicole. You should have been Febrezing the bed sheets in anticipation, instead of spraying Carlton with its disappointment scent. Carlton even apologized, which was enough for Nicole to admit she wasn't ready to date yet. Now, at least that was mature and honest, as well as totally understandable. Nicole also didn't want Carlton putting his life on hold while she navigated her new normal, but he was willing to stick around for a while and see what happened. I'm telling ya, I am liking Gnarlton more and more all the time. As for Ted, he ran into Leslie, who had just descended on Fairmont Crest in her not-at-all ironic angel costume. As expected, Leslie sassed Nicole and even made off with a heaping handful of her Halloween candy. Unexpectedly, things got super chill between Leslie and Ted, with the former waitress's former lover seeing flashes of the old Dana as they talked. Could it be possible for them to be friends, he wondered? I would never have thought that myself, but it does seem to be the direction in which we are heading. Would it be so bad? For Leslie to finally have some kind of relationship with Ted, it would mean, on top of inheriting those many bajillions, she'd actually have everything she wanted, which I hope would be the cue for her to lose absolutely all of it. The show let us know that they haven't forgotten about Leslie being a suspect in nearly killing Laura twice, in the form of Leslie suddenly, and very much out of the blue, bragging about how she had donated her motorcycle jacket to charity. Even Ted called that out as getting rid of the evidence. Leslie seems poised to have every heart's desire fulfilled, which could be soap speak for her finally getting her comeuppance. Elsewhere, Ted decided it was time for Eva to start calling him Dad, and she didn't know where to look upon receiving the offer. She was so moved, pretty much all she could do was cry silent tears. Amber Michelle delivers those so well. Did she learn from Catherine Kelly Lang on B&B? Eva accepted, and Ted vowed to get back to integrating her into the Richardson family, especially with the holidays coming up. Leslie had sought Ted out at the hospital simply to thank him for taking Eva out to breakfast, but when she found out that he wanted their daughter to address him as Dad, Leslie became emotional, saying Eva had longed for that her whole life. Instead of draping herself on him like she usually does, Leslie offered him a genuine hug, which Nicole saw. And we should care. Why? She's got Carlton and is moving on. Let Leslie have Ted already. Eva did the rare thing of skipping meal-taking with Leslie in favor of hanging out at Uptown, where Isaiah just happened to walk in. The Is reported that his job interview at Banneker University had led to an offer of employment, but he was on the fence about taking it owing to there being someone to consider. That someone turned out to be Yolanda, a girl with whom Isaiah had just broken up. Aw, man. Couldn't Isaiah just have been free and single? Why did we have to bring him in as rebound territory? He and Eva clearly have chemistry, and she deserves more than another heaping helping of sloppy seconds. Anyway, before that even factored in, Kat showed up and decided she needed to be Isaiah's personal town crier, spilling every gallon of Eva tea and warning her cousin's sister's husband's brother off of Ms. Thomas. Chelsea later heard about this and thought it was a step too far. And I have to agree. Kat flexing on Tomas is one thing, because she met him first, and they were involved first. And okay, I can see her wanting to protect her family and extended family, which is big with her. But it also seems like Kat just doesn't want Eva to have any good thing happen whatsoever. And that makes her hella petty. Like we didn't already know that's what Kat is, but it was especially grating here. Girl, you got Tomas and his broken D. Stay in your lane. We knew from the previous week that Isaiah and Jacob are brothers, so it stood to reason that we would soon see Isaiah with at least one other Hawthorne, and we did in the form of Elon, through whom we learned that Isaiah had gotten mixed up with gangs and had been arrested once, or possibly more than once. However, Isaiah had cleaned up his act with college degrees and academic service, which wasn't good enough for his police chief dad. No, Elon had an axe to grind because Jacob and his other off-screen brother Luke, and even their mama Darlene, were all on the force, and Isaiah wasn't. What is this, 1950? Elon considers Isaiah an outcast because he didn't take over the family business? If Elon hadn't later told Joey that he would do anything for the kid, I'd have wanted to slap Elon into the middle of the next week. Too bad he can't actually show Isaiah that vulnerability. The Kenneth Chronicles may not stay buried for long either. Jacob and Elon got into a spat over how the senior detective had killed the investigation of the body in the park, and, when Isaiah saw Eva again, he said that his brother, who had a long history of idolizing their father, clearly had gone sour on the guy. Intrigued I am. Hell, Jacob still doesn't know that Naomi knows the Stance Park stiff was Kenneth. Yolanda had blown off Isaiah's most recent attempt at communication, and Eva could tell that Isaiah was back at Uptown for some serious rebounding. That didn't stop the sparks from flying between these two, but Tomas might have put his now requisite ice pack right on Eva and Isaiah's mojo. He let Eva know that he had heard from Kat that Jacob, the 5 neuro who had tried to arrest Leslie for Laura's assaults, was Isaiah's brother. Who? Told you justice is coming for Leslie. Should be interesting to see how this affects Eva and Isaiah going forward, though. Anita got the gang together and decided she wanted to dedicate the Dupree Foundation's annual Winterfest to Barbara and direct its proceeds toward providing mental health services to musicians. Danny and Nicole loved the idea. The amazingly present Laura did too, but what if, as Barbara's daughter, Laura uh-oh'd, Leslie either wanted to swoop in and control the whole thing or just quash it altogether? La Dupree considered this for a moment, but decided to forge ahead anyway. Next on the agenda, Danny proposing that one lucky auction winner be granted a private luncheon with the Articulettes. Ooh, that could be cool. Also cool was Anita mentioning that Tracy and Sharon were still on tour, and Nicole half-jesting that Anita impersonator Jackie Tyree MC. Why do I feel like we haven't seen the last of the lisping doppelganger? I just can't with Derek anymore. All he does is try to get up out of his wheelchair, only to be almost caught by Ashley, plus flex with Andre, marking his territory about Ashley. And given that Ashley got all stressed out when Derek started pushing for wedding dates, I think we're still in the same place we were when the Dashley saga started 8 months ago. I'm done. Please split these two up and give them something else to do. Vanessa's story didn't really move along. I was hoping she'd take Joey to her place, and that Donald, who supposedly left for college, actually didn't, and went back to the house, only to find his ho-mama getting freaky with his new surrogate dad. But no such luck. Instead, Vanessa got hot under the collar over Danny's concern about Joey. And why Danny said she threatened to come after Joey with her gun when she actually didn't, I don't know. Danny inexplicably seemed to join Team Joey when Vanessa waxed orgasmic about how awesome the sex with him was. So much for Joey being dangerous, right, Danny? Vanessa then did something very stupid. She told Danny about her plan to rule at Joey's side. Why would she implicate herself like that? I used to kinda like Vanessa, but now the dumb blonde jokes are writing themselves. I'm glad that Tomas's peen didn't, bounce back immediately like so many other soap ailments, though I think a broken third leg might be a first for any soap. Can you just see it on Y&R? Nikki, you have caused injury to the greater Victor Newman. Tomas couldn't live the limping down, as both Bill and Chelsea poked fun at him, and Kat, well-meaning as she was, tried to prime him with rejuvenating vitamins. I understand that she felt bad for whatever it was she did causing him suffering, but Tomas was tired of that being all he and Kat even talked about. After he nearly begged Kat to pull a Frozen and let it go, Kat became witness to a spat between Chelsea and Madison. Apparently, Chelsea, again well-meaning, followed through on her decision to bring Madison and her mother together, which Madison did not appreciate at all. Poor Madison had to also suffer the indignity of delivering detailed exposition to not only Kat, but later Nicole, relating to the whole lowdown with her mom. We didn't really get anything new out of it ourselves, outside of the fact that Mama Willow liked Chelsea and offered to do up her birth chart. The one nice touch was that Madison had been concerned about blowing up at Chelsea because of her still recovering from her Allison-induced PTSD. Nicole seems to be at her best when she's head shrinking, and though she praised Madison's sensitivity toward Chelsea and her ordeal, she also noted that Madison needed to be sensitive to herself by honoring her own feelings and needs. Good call. Meanwhile, Chelsea saw how Kat's gift of vitamins had bruised Tomas's ego, and Kat saw how Chelsea had gone too far trying to fix the Madison/Willow divide. Interesting that they each took the other's partner's side in these dilemmas. Oh, bonus points for Joey actually suggesting to Elon that they groom Jacob to be Marcel's replacement. Elon nearly had a coronary right there in the Lakeview back room. I did think Joey was serious, but he was only joshing. and suggested that the practically hyperventilating Elon add more fiber to his diet. Laud, can you imagine Jacob somehow being brainwashed to join Joey? If this was GH, they would do it. Hayley had long made noise about being accepted in Fairmont Crest, though now we have to wonder how much of that was just part of her making her cover story more convincing. Why do I get the feeling that revealing Hayley as a scammer was a later edition retcon? But it seems the one country club member Hayley doesn't want to be anywhere near is Leslie. I seem to recall Leslie attempted to team up with Hayley once before, at Orphe Jean's, but the Dark Angel decided to try again, cozying up to Hayley in plain sight of Danny and Nicole. Leslie had nothing but bad things to say about Bill, and didn't think Hayley would mind joining forces with her if it meant raining down hell on the Duprees, but Hayley basically didn't want to be seen in the same airspace as her. That's when it got interesting. Leslie grinned that she could see through Hayley's Sunday school act. Is that an indication that it takes a bull's ooteder to know a bull's cateder? Consider me engaged. Hayley didn't do a very good job of throwing Leslie off the scent, just about squirming in her seat. Guess Hayley doesn't function well while in the presence of someone who could give her away. Hayley did, however, find a clever way to use the encounter to her advantage. Though we didn't see Hayley further poison Bill this week, we have to assume he's still getting regular doses, and that he's going to collapse any day now. Hayley reported seeing Leslie, adding to Leslie's distaste toward Bill by tacking on that she had threatened to ruin him. There was something in her eyes, Hayley said in fear. You know where this is going, right? When something happens to Bill, and you know it will, and soon, Hayley will ensure that Leslie is blamed. Given that Leslie has already been suspected of poisoning Laura with that extra strength dose of potassium, there are few who wouldn't believe it. Could Leslie's inevitable, much-needed downfall happen at the hands of Hayley, of all people? Again, Hayley doesn't seem to do well around other schemers. She ran into Joey at Orphe Jean's, and he immediately informed her that he knew everything about the affair she was having with Randy. Of course, Hayley couldn't have known that Randy fibbed about sleeping with her to cover her presence at the casino. Unfortunately for the cousins, they didn't corroborate their stories, and Hayley burst out laughing at the very thought of cavorting with Joey's employee. That I could have understood, but then Hayley became indignant and insisted that the only casino worker she knew was Sammy. Why would Hayley tell Joey that? Surely he knows there's no Sammy on his payroll. She should have just gone along with the affair story and then gone to Randy somewhere else besides the casino or uptown and been like, "What the hell, cuz?" Because now Joey knows something's up. Hayley better hurry and off Bill before Leslie and or Joey catch on to her. Though her delay and repeated chance-taking certainly upped her portfolio, didn't it? Hayley stupidly scrolled through St. Bart's beach houses, looking toward her post-Bill life. And Bill came home in the middle of it. She at least admitted she was scoping out beachfront property, but added the pivot that she was thinking of a vacation home for the two of them. And before you could say, "I'm poisoning your ass," Bill whipped out his virtual checkbook and slapped down an offer on the crib, which was accepted. And the cherry on top was his putting the house in Hayley's name. No one can say she's not scoring some major bling as Bill's wife. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to finding out what Hayley's real name is. Living on the streets isn't a fate you'd want to wish on anybody, but it's certainly a school that teaches, the hard way, how to suss out potential threats and hustlers. June's radar seemed to be on overdrive as Samantha suspiciously showed up at the diner during school hours and got together to work on a school project with Nathan, who looked to anyone with eyes to be more interested in kissing than education. Samantha was down with it, but June sure wasn't. After June spent enough time observing, she brought Nathan his milkshake, only to accidentally spill it near his crotch. Jasmine Burke gave a delightful performance as June aw shucks it her way through an apology over her clumsiness, sending the literally iced-out Nathan on his way. June implored Samantha to have higher standards, very much picking up on Nathan being a skankaroonie, as Nicole once said. Samantha was suddenly not into her biomom and pouted that at least her dads didn't assault boys she liked. Oh, Sammy Sam, you just wait. This girl is in serious need of an ABC after-school special, or Dr. Ruth coming back from the dead to talk to her about good sex. Knowing Samantha was nearby grabbing menus at Uptown, Kat made the careless mistake of getting into sex talk with Chelsea. It's not like the teen was so far away that Kat shouldn't have realized she could be heard. Or like Kat had brought the decibels down as she giggled that she shouldn't have waited so long to have sex with Tomas. Chelsea didn't help by hailing Kat's journey from virgin to sex goddess. The cousins backtracked when they realized Samantha was in earshot, trying to explain that commitment and communication and all that was more important than sex. But Samantha had already honed in on the part she wanted to hear. She needed to have sex with Nathan so that he would like her. She couldn't get Nathan into the brownstone fast enough, and fast was certainly how she was behaving. The one thing I have to give Nathan credit for is that he asked, more than once, if Samantha was absolutely sure. Still, you have to wonder about any high school boy who carries condoms around in his backpack. These teens both had the young and dumb parts of the triad down as they foolishly made out on the living room couch, where the returning Martin and Smitty saw the writhing as soon as they entered. Both Samantha and Nathan got their stories crossed, but none of that mattered once Martin found the still-wrapped condom on the floor. From there, it was game over. And after Nathan was summarily ejected from the house, Samantha found herself grounded and made to hand over all her devices. You'd never know portrayer Nadja Jackson is 30 because she had the whiny teenager shtick down pat. Sam complained that she'd have to do her homework on a chisel and that she might as well wear an orange jumpsuit for as much of a prisoner as she was. Especially when Tyrell, who had not tried to bone right there on the couch, was allowed to attend a Halloween party with the back-on-the-scene Jessica. Why couldn't she have sex? Samantha griped. Smitty and Martin got it on all the time. While Samantha moped in her room, Smitty told Martin that he understood why teens were so sexed up. It wasn't like the songs they themselves had grown up with weren't laced with it, and the same went for the real world. A random ancient MTV mention? Maybe. But it was also a nod to the fact that Smitty alter ego Mike Manning appeared on that show in 2009 and 2010. I see you, Gates, slipping in that Easter egg in time for Halloween. Samantha should be glad Tyrell has her back, but her actions indicated otherwise. Her bro outright told her that Nathan's locker room talk was almost totally comprised of how many girls he was having sex with. Samantha looked cowed, not having known that. But then she tricked Tyrell into listening to a new jam on his headphones only so she could play it for him on his phone while using it to text Nathan. This came back to bite Samantha, or at least it will, when Tyrell and Jessica bumped into Nathan at a pre-party thing at Orphe Jeans, where they specifically heard Nathan boasting about how he wanted to add Samantha to his body count. When Jessica called Nathan disgusting, and Tyrell stepped in on Samantha's behalf, Nathan scoffed that Tyrell was so stupid, he didn't know Samantha was texting him with his own phone. Clever, Sam, but easily detectable. You are so-sking for trouble. Nathan didn't like Tyrell getting up in his face and was ready to rearrange Tyrell's, but our chess master checkmated Nathan by standing his ground, which got Nathan off his case and Jessica all hot and bothered. She couldn't stop kissing all over the knight in shining armor. Let's hope Tyrell doesn't wind up having sex with Jessica anytime soon, because that will only prove Samantha's point. Chess players have patience, Ty. The wheels in Samantha's head were still turning as she tried to come up with an end run around her father's. She needed to talk to a woman, she decided. Nice parallel to when she wanted to talk to June about Nathan before. Only this time, she wanted to conference with Nicole. It was just she'd need her phone back to contact her. You tried it, girl. Pop and Dad saw right through the attempt and escorted Sam to Nicole themselves. Nicole was alarmed when Samantha expressed a desire to live with her instead of her awful father's. Thankfully, instead of spraying Febreze to make things better, Nicole stuck to psychiatry and let Samantha know that her approach to sex was backwards, based on what Samantha revealed about her exploits. You don't have sex with a guy first, and then become his boyfriend, she said. Oh, Nicole, where were you in 1992? Grandma Pumpkin Roll then got out of Samantha that she had initiated the condom unrolling, and that she had been motivated by Kat being extremely sex-positive. That didn't sit well with Martin, who popped his head in to find out if anyone wanted cocoa, and discovered that Kat had delivered the marshmallows. Then Nicole nixed Samantha becoming her roommate, causing the teen to mutter, Worst Halloween ever. And whose fault is that, Sam? You ain't gonna see a Halloween party till 2029 at the earliest. This brings us to the end of another 2 Scoops DC edition. Spray whether or not our soap makes sense in the comments below. And until next we meet, Scoopers, live your life beyond. Secrets, surprises, and strained family ties dominate Beyond the Gates this week. When truths come out, heart suck me, and trust will break. The video preview for the upcoming week of Beyond the Gates doesn't just tell us that Vernon's keeping secrets, it shows us. Meanwhile, Ashley walks in on a big surprise. Will she be able to handle it? And Kat can't take much more of Eva and Ted's closeness. A bigger rift between Kat and her dad seems likely. Plus, the Smith-Richardsons are in crisis. And Joey has a little fun at a Fairmont Crester's expense. Something tells us that Vanessa doesn't find Joey's comments amusing. Here's the breakdown for the week of November 3-7. Vernon is practically whispering when he's on the phone. Even though he lives in a big mansion, he doesn't want Anita to accidentally eavesdrop on his plans. "I know what I'm doing," the retired senator starts. "Let me handle this my way." Next second, he's at the door of some mysterious woman. "Sorry, I'm late," he tells her. Who is this woman? Another semi-secret phone call takes place between Shanice and Derek, who is keeping his own secrets from his fiancée. "If you don't fess up and soon, pretty sure you'll regret it," Shanice warns. She happens to be the smartest person in the DMV area. Derek not only has feelings in his legs, but he can stand up on his own now too. And he stubbornly refuses to tell Ashley. Well, the secret's out. The nurse walks right into their apartment and catches Derek off guard, and on his feet. "This is incredible! Look at you!" Ashley exclaims. Ashley hasn't put 2 and 2 together yet, but she will. The weekly spoilers allude to someone's deceit, causing trouble for 2 couples. This just might be Ashley and Derek, as well as Naomi and Jacob. Because guess what? Jacob knows all about Derek's fast recovery. Meanwhile, the Smith-Richardsons are knee-deep in the middle of drama. Martin and Smitty no longer have to worry about battling each other. They are facing a family crisis with Samantha. "Today's your last day," Martin says. Did he lay down the law and tell Samantha that she can no longer work for Chelsea Cat? A despondent Samantha looks at Martin and continues. "I hate you," she coldly states. That has to hurt. Another family is going through major drama. Kat and her half-sister Eva can't be in the same room without getting into an argument, trying to one-up each other, or one sleeping with the other's boyfriend. And now Eva is calling Ted Dad, and Kat has had it. "I called him Dad," Eva explains. "Well, I hope you enjoy the one daughter you have left because you can't have both of us," Kat tells her father, and then walks away. Finally, Joey Armstrong tells a joke that hits a little too close to home for Vanessa. "Though I had him killed so I could have his wife all to myself," Joey states dryly, clearly trying to mess with someone at the club. The look on Vanessa's face after she hears that is priceless. It's certainly not the truth, right? Right? Meanwhile, BTG fans know he is telling the truth, and nothing but the truth. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.